Hi everyone, my name is Savannah of Sewlivi Dyes Yarn, and welcome. I already told you my name. If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by. If you are returning, that's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and show you today what I've been working on knit-wise, because that's pretty much it. A little bit of spinning, and then I have a very small haul. Hopefully we will not get interrupted. My whole family is home. So we will see. I didn't really tell anybody I was recording this video though, so because they're all doing their own thing, so maybe we'll get lucky. All right, I'll go ahead and show you my finishes because I got 2 knitting finishes and 1 spinning finish, and I figured I need to start putting those spinning finishes with my finishes, but we'll go ahead. So first finish is socks. Okay, so these socks, long story, I guess. We'll try to keep it pretty short. These socks, I test knit one sock. I don't know which one it was. I can't remember. One of these socks I test knit back in October for Slip Sis. I believe that is the designer's name. These socks are called the Let Me See You Get Lotus socks. So I test knit one of these back in October, and I promptly did not cast on the second one. When I noticed with myself, when I test knit socks, I typically do not knit the second one. I've only test knit 2 socks. The first one came out really big. Of the other pair that the other sock that I test knit came out really big, so it wasn't like I would wear it anyways, so I didn't knit the second one. But when this one came around, it fit me. I just didn't want to knit another one of this. It's color work. My color choices were not the best. But this is scrap yarn that I dyed a long time ago when I first started dyeing, so it's all dyed minus this gray. All these colors are food color dyes. And I had this mini set, all 10-gram minis, 10 colors. I don't know if I have 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, all 10 colors are in here. And I really liked them. I just didn't know what I was going to do with them. They fit perfectly for this pattern. But again, I did not want to knit the second sock. I was not looking forward to doing another full cover, or I mean a full color work sock. So I just didn't do it. Well, fast forward to right before July, or maybe the first week of July. I was watching Nitty Natty on YouTube, and she was, sock week was coming up at that time. And I wanted to participate in sock week, but I didn't want to cast on a new pair of socks. And she was also mentioning that she got the idea from other people who've done this, where they, prior to sock week, they knit their first sock. That way when sock week happens, they can knit the second sock, because sock week is just one sock for a week. Then that way you have a pair of socks by the end of sock week, and you don't get that second sock syndrome thing. So I was like, why not just go ahead and cast on this second sock and get it done and over with? That way it could free up my, I had it in this basket from Ruby and Roses, so I could free up this basket. So I was like, okay. So I did that. I went ahead and cast on, and I knit this for sock week, whichever one it was. I can't remember. If I put it on my feet, I would know, because the one I knit last week, it's tighter than this one. I'm not entirely sure why my tension was tighter than the initial one, but at least it still fits. That is the bonus. It still fits. It's just a little bit tighter, and it fits on my sock blockers pretty well. So, but yeah, I knit I knit one sock, and I finished a pair. It's finally done, out of the way. I could clean out this basket, which I'm thankful for. I could clean out this basket and use it for something else. The scraps, These are only a couple of them. This is still, out of 10 gram minis, this is how much I still have. So I just threw them in this. So I have this basket that I bought at, I think I got it at Hobby Lobby. I put, minus these, I have not wound up these ones yet into balls. But I have all these scraps. Oh, don't fall out. I have all these scraps that I am knitting into this blanket, my color therapy blanket. I have not worked on this in a really, really long time, but I did want to make everything look, oops, sorry. I wanted everything to be kind of nice and in one spot, this basket. Plus I was cleaning out my scrap. Which one? Oh, it's over here. You can't see it because my Swift is kind of in the way, but there's a wire basket there that's full of scrap yarn, just bigger scraps. So I wanted to but when I was organizing that, I pulled out the smaller scraps and wound them into balls and put them in here. Plus I had scraps on my desk in a big glass vase. Wanted to kind of consolidate them all into one spot. But yeah, I still have a couple more that I need to wind into balls. Some of these are from my advent last year. Some of these were just other scraps. I think these are yarn mops that I had. So when I would dye yarn a while back, if there was still more dye in the bath, I would use these. I don't really do that anymore. I don't need to. But some testing of some dyes. Yeah, I still have a couple more to wind into balls, and then when this gets called on wipgo, I'm ready to go with this. Anyways, that was that pair of socks. Again, that's the Let Me See You Get Lotus socks by Slip Slip Sis. I have my Ravelry will be linked below, so you can find all these patterns if you are interested. Okay, next finished. I am very happy this one is done. Look, my Ramble Shawl by Andrea Mowry is finally finished. I cheated, let me tell you that. Ugh, I'm gonna fall. I cheated. I skipped the last repeat of the brioche herringbone pattern. So I think it would have been just this much more here. I didn't think it was really necessary. I was just getting tired considering these rows were getting longer and longer. I didn't think it was necessary to actually knit that last repeat. So I checked with some friends on Instagram to see if they thought it would be okay. And they validated my wants and told me to just go ahead and bind off. And you know what? It looks fantastic. So I blocked it yesterday. I got up, so yesterday I had to bind it off, so I had got everything finished and had it ready to go to be bound off. It was bedtime, so I went to bed, got up. First thing I did in the morning after feeding cats was binding off, which was super easy, and then immediately blocked it. And I took my blocking mats outside, put them in my driveway, and pinned this all out, and it was dry within an hour because it was so warm. And then yeah, this piece right here, it's quite long, so I'm thinking I'll probably end up, when I get these crescent shawls, one side always ends up a little bit longer, so might as well just put a little knot in it. But look at that. Again, this is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. It is a brioche and garter ridge pattern. I started this in September, I think, September 2021, and it took me a total of 15 days to knit. Only 15 days, like, what in the world, you know? Like, if I would have just done it all when I started it, I would have had it done last year, but I burnt out, couldn't figure out the brioche, but this brioche is not difficult at all. Once you get it, it is not difficult. Plus, what I did was I put stitch markers between each repeat, and I will preface that, well, not preface, I guess is not the right word. I will let you know that if you do decide to knit this and you're gonna go ahead and put stitch markers between the repeats, every couple of rows, your stitch markers need to move 2 stitches over, forward or backwards. It just depends on, you know, it just, that's how it works. I noticed. Just don't be alarmed if that happens. So I'd get to the end of the repeat and then I'd have 2 more stitches before the thing. So I would just slip those stitches onto that side, take off the stitch marker, slide those other 2 back on, put the stitch marker back on, and continue on my way. It just helped me to see where the repeats were, so I knew what the heck I was doing. But yeah, Andrea Mowry's Ramble Shawl. This is a DK weight. I used a Bear yarn as my, I think that's the contrast. Oh crap, now I can't even remember which one was contrast, which one was main color. Either way, I used a plain Bear yarn, and then I dyed the gray for this pattern, so it was just a one-of-a-kind gray tonal that I dyed for this pattern. I have this one stitch right here that I must have accidentally went through the bottom loop or something. It sticks out like a sore thumb, I swear. Oh, every time I hold this thing up to look at it, that's exactly where my eye goes. It was a complete accident, and I didn't realize it until I was way up into the brioche, of course. I was like, I don't like trying to drop stitches down in garter, because picking up purl stitches is not as fun as picking up knit stitches. But yeah, all finished. I'm so happy. You know, it's funny, as you finish something and my brain goes to, oh, what can I start next? But then I have to be like, oh, what should I pull out of the whip pile next to finish? Which is true. It feels like I have a lot of whips on the needle still, even after finishing so many things recently. I'm just gonna keep going, try to get as much off the needles as possible. I do plan to, well, I did start one thing to show here, but I do plan to start another thing soon that I'm hoping that I will be able to like design, I guess, you know, make into a pattern. It's just the idea of grading a pattern is really, really scary. Sorry, my hair is falling down the back. It's really, really scary. I have no idea where to even start with the whole grading process. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to knit this sweater. Well, it's a cardigan idea that I have. I have swatches right here, 2 different types of swatches, just bare yarn until I had to order yarn just so I could dye it. But I will start the pattern, you know, the project soon, and maybe from there I'll figure it out. I don't know. This is driving me bonkers. All right, it's a scary adventure, but I need to try. It's been something I've wanted to do for a while, so it's time to try. It's not that hot down here, so I can wear this the rest of the episode. Okay, so let's go into whips. Whip number 1. I worked on this one on Tuesday and then a little bit yesterday. My needle core cable is small, so it's just cinched in. This is the Rocket Tea by Tanis Lavelli of Tanis Fiber Arts. I'm using a mocha cotton cake from Monsoon Calamity, no longer in production, but it gradiates great. It goes through this gradient all on its own. I don't have to. These 2 right here, they look so similar that you can barely tell. The line is kind of like right here. You can barely tell the difference. I do wish that some of the lighter tan would have been mixed in here maybe, so this line wasn't as blunt, but it's okay. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, let me see, where's my progress keeper? So there's where I was. I took this to knit group like I think I said, on Tuesday, and I just knit most of this. I only put in a couple more rounds the other day while just sitting down here watching videos. Okay, I don't know what else to say. This is 100% cotton, so it'd be good for summer. I just need to get it finished for summer, right? So that's something I need to keep reminding myself that I have on the needles to get finished, or else I'll just keep working on other things that aren't like seasonally appropriate. You know? Okay, next whip. This one. So what I put in this basket was a whip that was a lot further than it is now. This is my 1/2 triangle wrap. I have been taking this to the pool with me. I just put it in my purse because it's just one skein of yarn right now, and it was about 4 inches, 4.5 inches, so it could still fit in my purse, no problem. I was just taking it to the pool while the kids swim. I just knit on this. Well, what was it, the other day I was watching YouTube and I noticed Stacy of Stress Knits posted a tutorial for a 1/2 triangle wrap by Pearl Soho, because it's a free pattern, so it was totally fine that she made the thing. And plus she's currently working on her 5th 1/2 triangle wrap, so she's like, I'll make a tutorial. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch this and see, because I was always confused about the wrap and turns on this pattern. Like, I had asked when I first started if I was doing them correct, and the answers that I were getting was like, yeah, it's fine, or I wasn't getting any answers at all. So I was like, I'd watched tutorials, I'd read the pattern through. I don't understand why I was having a hard time with these wrap and turns, because I do wrap and turns in sweaters all the time for short rows. It's not that hard. I like wrap and turns. I prefer them over German short rows, I think. German short rows are the ones where you pull it up, right? Where you pull it up and you make the leg into 2 stitches kind of thing. I prefer wrap and turns. So I know what I'm supposed to do. For some reason, I was stumped on this pattern. So I was just knitting along, you know, thinking I'm doing the right thing, but still kind of confused because of the way it's looking. I'm like, it doesn't say anywhere in the pattern where I'm going to be picking up stitches for this triangle side, right? For the middle triangle. Well, she does the tutorial and I'm like, okay, I'm going to see what she does. I was doing it wrong the entire time. The entire time. I was just completely wrong. I was so sad. I was so devastated. But I was like, okay, at least I know. I'm gonna rip it all out, which I did. I ripped it all out, recast on, and got going again. So my yarn looks funny. I did recake it, but it was a bigger cake, so it was too big to fit into my yarn cozy. So it popped out the top. But this is the linen quill by Pearl Soho. It's the called for yarn for the pattern. I'm using peach stone, and then my other color will be oatmeal gray. It is a wool alpaca linen blend, which is really nice. I really like it, fingering weight. I'm in the middle of a row, of course, so I restarted it, and this is all that I have. So my mistake, I will show you right here. I had these 2 stitches on my needle, and then there was a giant gap in between to the next, to where this was. So I was technically had just these 2 live stitches, and everything else was kind of like bound off almost, and it was just going straight up. There was no triangle whatsoever. Now I'm doing it right, where these are all my wrap and turns, and then these are all my regular stitches. So what I would do is I knit to this, take it off, do a wrap and turn on the, sorry, this, I know it's not going to focus very well, this next stitch, because this one's just a regular knit stitch. Wrap and turn this one, knit this one, put the stitch marker back here, so this one will be on the other side, and then keep going. So it's like you're just slowly moving the stitch marker further and further along on your project, and that's how your stitches are ready to be knit with the next color as a triangle. Yeah, I can't believe I made that mistake. But it's okay. I'm not that butthurt, because obviously I restarted it, because I do want this. I do want this project. Like, I want the end product. I'm a product knitter, not a progress knitter or process knitter. Not a process knitter. I am a product knitter. I always want the thing. So yeah, I just threw it in this basket now that it was empty, and yeah. This basket is again from Ruby and Roses. I forget what size this is. It's her small one. These are made in Ghana, I believe, and every purchase helps support the working women in Ghana. I want the giant, biggest sized one, but it's like $75, so not at this time. But I would love the giant one. This one's great for socks, for starting a shawl. It's a nice little basket. Okay, next whip. This one, I barely knit on. I knit on it last night, but I think I'll probably knit on it tonight and for the next couple of days, maybe. I have this one as my nightly project, maybe. It's my Tune Shawl by Andrea Mowry. I'm using all my hand spun yarn for this. Where's the front? This is the front. Oh, sorry. Somebody coming downstairs, maybe? I don't know. Sounds like it. What you doing, kid? The Tune Shawl by Andrea Mowry. Started this back on June 1st, I think. June 1st. I did put it to the side for a while to focus on some finishes. Oops. I figured we should get, I'm getting close to the end of this pattern repeat, and then the rest of it will be garter. So I don't know if I showed you the last time. The last time I was like in this area, but from last night, just that much. I couldn't remember if I had showed it and just forgot to move the stitch marker. I don't know. This side is brioche, this side is half fisherman's rib. So this is the front or right side. This is the wrong side, but it still looks pretty fantastic. This is a very good reversible shawl. It is supposed to lean like that. You're doing more increases on the half fisherman's rib side than you are on the brioche side. So that's how it's supposed to be. And then again, once you're done with this section, you do just garter. So there's two different like sizes for this. You can either do like a smaller size, depending on your yardage. That's the whole stipulation. It's just depending on how much yardage you have out of your, because this is meant for hand spun. You don't have to, but it just depends again on your yardage. So I was thinking about getting to what her recommended like small size was, which I think is 20 repeats. 20 repeats, I think is what it was. I know it's 20, and then the bigger one was like 25. It really just depends on how much, again, yardage. I am unsure right now because when I did my math with my yardage, I wasn't close to what she had for her large one. So I was like, okay, but I feel like I have so much here. Like I'm still in the first two things, so I would know I would have to break into my next one, but my next one's massive. It's bigger than this, so I don't even know right now. Big skein. This is 530 yards. My small one was 150 yards, and I'm still not even done with it yet. For this is my main color. It is a Corriedale, oh no. Oh shoot. It's been a while, so now I can't even remember. I think it's merino. I think it's all merino. An ecru and a humbug that I spun together. I know the lighting is really... I spun them together. You can see here, this big fluffy spot. I spun and applied those together. So that's my main color. So it kind of looks like a grayish brown with a cream. Barber pulled together. My main color, and then my contrasting color is wound up fibers, superwash merino, super sock. No, yeah, they're super sock bundles. So there's super scrappy sock bundles. I can't remember. You get a bunch of minis, like little bumps of fiber, and I just spun them all together and plied them together to get these beautiful kicks. So I'm still in this one. It still looks pretty big, doesn't it? It's pretty decent. And then we have the second one. My initial thought was to do the first half, like the pattern bit, in one of these and then some of that, because let me see, the colored skeins are a total of 469 yards, both of them. So, and these are either a heavy fingering weight, sport weight, DK-ish, light DK maybe, what I spun up here. So yeah, the colored ones together equals 469 yards, and then total the other one is 680 yards. So not even double. So I originally thought that I'd do the pattern bit until this was empty, but that won't work. So right now, I guess I'm just basing it off of how many repeats I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see after that, because I'm a couple of repeats. So I do feel like it would still be about this much more of this. I don't know. I just don't want to end up with still a lot of this and never getting into this one, because look at these beautiful colors. Like, I want to get into this one. Really like this. I don't know. We'll see. Just keep knitting on it, right? But yeah, hand spun. Very fun. You know what? I forgot to show you my hand spun finish. It fell off my lap and completely forgot about it. That's okay. We'll get to it eventually. Last, put that back in here. Sorry. Last whip is a new start. I caved and started this. I started it right before I finished this one. I think I was sitting down here and I didn't have any of my whips with me, so I just grabbed this one off the desk and was like, you know what, might as well just start it. Just start it, it's okay. So this is from the Forbidden Fiber Co.'s Gamer box that I had pre-ordered a while back and got. So it was like a mystery box. It came with this little bag, and it came with all the yarn, the pattern, stitch markers, came with some stickers, candy, coasters. Yeah, it was just a mystery game, and it was all gamer themed, like retro games, which is awesome. Anyways, this pattern is called The Lost Wood Shawl by Justine Chanel, I think. I looked on Ravelry for this pattern. It's not there. It's not on Forbidden Fiber Co.'s website either. So I don't know if you can get this pattern or how long until this pattern is available. But it's this cute little triangle shawl. There's garter ridges. Let's see here. Got garter ridges, slip stitch crosses, fisherman's rib, garter triangles, and mosaic triangles. So it's not too difficult. So I think this right here is the mosaic. So yeah, I just started a little bit of it. I'm using the yarn that's called for, obviously. It's all Forbidden Fiber Co.'s Genesis. It's superwash merino, 100% wool. It's 50 grams each, or 195 yards. So I when I was messing around trying to find this pattern so that I could link it, you know, I found out that these yarns, while they come like these are dyed in the wool specifically for Forbidden Fiber Co. They're dyed in the wool for, yeah. Right, it doesn't say it on here, no. Okay, I don't remember which color's which, so I wrote it down, thankfully, so I would know. So this one's called Anti-Hero. This one's called Subplot. And this one is Sidekick. And look, this is my Zelda quilt that I designed and made. Colors go perfectly with it. This is a pale green, and we got that orangey color. I made that quilt years ago. I love Legend of Zelda, which makes me think that, you know, I think this is based off of the game too. There's two other yarns that go in here. We got Gluttony Sock Minis. This is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. It's actually 150 grams or 40, not 150 yards, 40 grams. These are 40 gram minis. So these two, this one is Zelda and this one is Link. So I haven't caked them up yet because they're not called for just yet, so I figured it's fine. I don't have to do anything yet. So let's see here. Things twisted and tangled and twisted and tangled. Okay, this is what I did. So it's just a bunch of garter ridges and then some slip stitches, more garter ridges, more slip stitches. I don't know how well you can see that. So yeah, I just went ahead and added the orange color, and then I was like, okay, I need to stop working on this and work on something that actually needs to be finished. So yeah, stitch marker is, or progress keeper is a little heart that came with the set. That's all I've needed so far. But yeah, I thought, why not just get it done. Granted, when I did start that, I forgot I actually had the Attune shawl. I forgot that I had that because it was upstairs. It's been sitting next to my chair. Okay, let's go ahead and get this spinning finish showed and then my haul, and that'll be it. Spinning finish. I finished this skein for Tour de Fleece. It's still going on. I think it ends soon. I'm not really doing it every single day. Some days I just can't. So, and I really did not enjoy spinning this fiber very much. So this fiber is from the spinning box. I got this in that kitty box that I got from the spinning box. This colorway is called Nice Kitty. It is a Polworth and mulberry silk blend. Polworth is nice to spin. I do not like spinning with silk. I was having a hard time. Plus, I decided to change my whirl speed on my wheel, and I probably shouldn't have, so I overspun a lot of this. It was overspun. The silk would be fine for a little bit, and then I'd just get a big old chunk of it. And I wasn't happy about that at all. But it's done, it's over with. I haven't taken any stats on it yet. I still haven't done stats on the other one either. I really need to. But this is soft and it's, again, silky. It's nice feeling. It's just not, it's not perfect. So as soon as I was done plying it, I put it into the big skein on my Nitty Knotty, went ahead and gave it its little bath to set the twist, and it bled very badly, like super bad. Like, I was like, what? And you won't be able to tell because you don't know how rich and vibrant it was, but there's a lot of like whiter patches. There was never any like white pale bits of this colorway in the fiber. A lot of it came out. I don't know, I don't think it came out of the silk. I think it came out of that Polworth. Like none of it had been set or something. So I gave it a really good wash with some soap, kind of the same way I would wash my hand dyed yarns. After I dye them, I did the same process. And then, but yeah, so I need to be careful if I do knit with this, what I knit with it, because it's still, I think it's still gonna bleed after the fact. But it looks like it is probably a sport to DK weight in most spots. There are some very thinner spots, but again, definitely overspun in a lot of places and underplied. Oh well, I'm not too worried about it. I am spinning something new. It's a Rambouillet. It's one of my older fiber braids that had been hanging out on the wall right over here. Beautiful colors. It's like a red and a brown and a gray. Very pretty. It's spinning nicely, so we'll see though. Okay, I finally got my last fiber club from Wool Gathering. That came the other day. It's a really pretty color too. This one is a Falkland wool. And I've spun with Falkland before. It is more, I wouldn't say it's super rustic. It's still soft. It's just not as soft as merino. But it's nice. So it came with this little card, its little history and information. And this was actually pretty interesting, to be honest, because it says Falkland wool does not refer to a specific breed of sheep. It indicates the wool that is grown in the Falkland Islands, which is okay, that's just a Spanish word. The island, which I did not know, I don't even know exactly where. Oh, okay. So it says the island, which has 776 in total, are located about 300 miles off of the southeast coast of South America. The wool consists of any of the breeds grown there, the majority of which are Polworth, an Australian cross of 75% merino and 25% Lincoln, and then merino and Corriedale. So this does feel a little bit like Polworth. But I didn't know that Falkland was not a specific breed of sheep. It is just a mix of those three wools: Polworth, merino, and Corriedale. And it says the microns range from 18 to 33, but they're mostly around 27 to 30. And then staple length is 3 to 4 inches. So yeah. Maybe that's why. I always wondered. That's so fun. But yeah, this should be the last one. It really should be the last one. And then my other haul. My other haul is attached to my shoes. Well, look at those. This poor guy. Don't worry about that. I need to scrub these. My Croc Charms. Look at those. I should probably go this way, huh? So you can see them better. So I follow this person on Instagram called Kitty with a Cupcake. I don't know how I found her. I don't remember. I probably just a recommended, and it was super cute content, so I was like, let's follow. And she announced, or they announced, that they were releasing charms for Crocs in yarn themed. I was like, oh heck yes, because I've wanted charms on my Crocs for a while. It's just every time I look for any kind of charms, nothing resonates. I don't drink coffee or tea or anything like that, so those don't work. You know, a lot of them are like sports themes, and I'm like, I don't want those. These work. So I got the pink and purple one. They also have teal and blue, which it was hard to choose. I liked both of them. I probably should have got both of them, and I could have just mixed and matched on my shoes, but I got the pink and purple. So we got a sock, a ball of yarn, the word yarn, and a heart with some stockinette stitches. And yeah, she just recently released them. I ordered the day of release, and I got them yesterday. Aren't those so awesome? Again, it's Kitty with a Cupcake, and I'll link it down below. I'm super happy to finally have Croc Charms that are me. Yay! Okay, so that is all that I have to share. I do again appreciate you stopping by to check out my videos. If you'd like to, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next week. We'll see. I'm hoping I'll have my yarn by next week and I can dye it up and start on that project. So it's gonna be fun, I think, or stressful, but either way. Thanks. Bye.